Hello, good morning. Happy Monday morning. We're back at it. This is Margaret, Dexter Realty. Good to see you all today. Today we have a great pleasure and a real treat to have Mr. Andrew Schuholf with us. Mr. Andrew Schuholf is a very good friend of mine. He's also an expert in real estate investment, a coach, trainer, and consultant. So we're in for great information today, and I'm just so happy that he can be here. So
My
Andrew,
pleasure.
How long have you been investing?
I've been investing for about 29 years. Basically, last century I started in my early years. Let's call it early years.
Yeah, let's just do that. So 29 years, obviously that's a long time, and you have accumulated a wealth of experience and knowledge. So today we have the opportunity to have you share some with us, and we're here to get to learn, and we can do better for ourselves, our family. So what is one of the best and most important benefit of why people should become a real estate investor?
Well, buying real estate, so we all work really hard for our money.
We do.
The challenge is getting our money working hard for us in a safe way. And real
Saving
estate
your money in your bank really should not be considered as working hard for us.
No, because it's not even keeping pace with inflation. So you're actually going backwards.
Yeah.
Stock market, I'm not against the stock market, but you can lose it all. Real estate, it's very rare to lose everything. It's almost impossible if you do things reasonably correct. And real estate is a great way to passively earn income and create wealth. There are ways that you have to do it where you're a little more active, but there are systems in place.
But I do feel that when you do have a portfolio of real estate, it really helps you build up that retirement plan. And it's a stepping stone if you're wanting to upgrade to your next house, or as a saving plan for your retirement. Really, I feel that is the case.
And some people even use properties as a RESP for their kids or grandkids.
Oh yeah, yes. Well, there you go. There's some other ideas, food for thoughts. But it can be a really overwhelming process. I mean, I know when I first bought, and I'm in the real estate, and even I feel a little overwhelming with all kinds of factors to consider, whether we're making the right decision for our family. What would your advice in terms of where to think and how to think when you're beginning to want to become a real estate investor?
Well, I think what we really need to start with, and it is an overwhelming thing because you go, what type of real estate am I going to get? What is my process? I think you really need to get to your why first. What is the purpose?
The big why.
Yeah. Why are you actually investing? What is your timeline? What is your risk tolerances? So it really has a lot more to do with what is your desired outcome.
Yeah.
So it requires reflection. It requires understanding what it is you're trying to accomplish, because yes, you can make a ton of money in real estate, but it's not really what the real estate, it's not really the money, it's what the money will do for you. It's your quality of life. Are you creating a legacy? Are you creating it for pure retirement income? Are you wanting to go on the best trips in the world? Are you a golfing crazy person? You know, it really, it's a means to an end, and the real estate is that means to making those, making the wealth or the cash flow or whatever it is that you're looking for, but you have to get beyond that about yourself.
And I think it's important to keep in mind, if you're buying it for yourself and you're the only person making a decision, it's okay to just think about it yourself. But if you're doing this exercise as a family, it's important to get everybody that's on board, that's everybody involved, to be on board with the same decision.
Absolutely, because eventually that is shared with your family, and you want them to be going the same direction as you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the mistakes you learned as an investor over the years?
Not asking the right questions. That's one. Asking a better question, I get a better answer every time. Number two,
And also not asking the right question.
Yes.
Sometimes we just have to learn what is actually the right question.
That's right.
Yeah. So number two?
Number two is buying at the right time in the real estate cycle. Understanding that there's times, depending on what you're trying to buy, whether it's a buy and hold or a fix and flip or whatever, there are times, there are appropriate times to buy that type of real estate versus purely location. So I always tend to look at timing versus location. That's how I got involved in real estate. My parents bought at the wrong time in a great location.
What's the wrong time?
And wrong time, and got vacancies, sold it because they were scared, didn't know what they were doing. They didn't have a team, which we'll talk about a little later.
You know what? Why don't we just segue right into it? What if you're going to be thinking of doing a project as an investment real estate? Who are some of the key people that should be on your team? Because you can't do it all by yourself. But what are some of the key people?
The key people, first one is, and this isn't because we're realtors, but I'd say a realtor. You want a realtor that understands investment real estate and what to look for based upon your criteria.
Yes.
So there's a discovery that you have to have with the realtor in order to send them off with the right direction of what you're looking for.
Yes. And it's important to distinguish just realtor and investment realtor.
Correct.
Yeah, because I think as a realtor, if you're for retail or what we call the retail, but really it's the residential realtor, there are a lot of the criteria we don't really need to be concerned with. Whereas if you're working with an investment realtor, they understand there's certain things that they need to keep in mind, also in line with what your objectives are.
Absolutely, and they have to be able to be good at numbers.
That helps.
But definitely an investment realtor.
Yeah.
A real estate accountant, not necessarily just an accountant that does real estate, but someone that understands investment real estate is really important because they will help you structure and plan. The same with a real estate lawyer that understands what you're trying to accomplish. You need to be sharing your overall goal with these team people. Property management. I can't stress finding the right property management is absolutely critical.
Make it or break it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then lawyers.
A lawyer. We said a lawyer. Contractor is really important.
Yeah.
Somebody you can trust, somebody that's accountable, that somebody actually will provide you the information.
And be honest about it.
That's right. And look at Better Business Bureau. Check out Yelp. Check out everybody when you're trying to build your team. And one of the people that was key to me was having a mentor, so that they somewhat protect yourself from yourself. They will take you down a path. They've already been down that path, so they know what situations come up.
Yeah. But the other thing is you have to have a good investment mortgage broker.
Correct. That's where
Not
we're going.
just a mortgage broker, but somebody who understands, because it is a lot harder to just try to qualify for a mortgage by buying your first home. If you have multiple property, it needs to be done properly.
Exactly, because there are certain lenders that will work better on your first investment properties, and there are lenders that will work better on your subsequent properties. And a good mortgage broker knows how to package your application to have the best results.
And packaging information, yeah. So talking about that, because as a mortgage broker or even any accountant, they're probably going to need a ton of information from you. What would be the best way to get that organized? Now, I do know you have a very useful and handy tool. Would you like to briefly talk about it?
Sure. When somebody's ready to jump on a deal, the speed at which sometimes it has to happen is quite incredible. So that means you need to be prepared.
Yeah.
So
it's what they call pull the trigger.
Yes. So I strongly believe in having a living document, a living binder. So I've set up basically a checklist. It's an investor financial checklist. It's 2 pages, and it has a lot to do with about the property, but more importantly about you and having all of your financial information. So I've actually created a hardcover living binder that I use for myself. And so every time I'm getting bank statements, notices of assessment, tax returns, all of that information, it's there because lenders typically are looking to say no quickly, right? They're not necessarily always looking to say yes. So if you are prepared and you have all your financial information in order right when you're working the deal, you're probably going to get to the top of the pile a lot quicker than being pushed down to the bottom of the pile.
Get it processed a lot quicker as well.
Absolutely. And so I have a hard copy, but in this digital age, we're also now getting a lot of our statements via email and whatnot and scanning them. And I just put it on a USB stick as well, so that I am able to get at that information really quickly, because if we can pull the trigger, there's a better chance of getting the deal.
Perfect. There's a lot of information. We're only catching, like, honestly, the tiniest tip of the iceberg. But if somebody is wanting to find you or maybe contact you, how would they be able to find you?
Well, they can find me. I have a number of different websites. One of them is a consulting website called acsconsulting.ca, where I do some consulting and coaching. I have a team website called strategicinvestmentrealtors.com, and there's tons of education on it. It's kind of old school, like me. It's not all this fancy websites nowadays, but it has a lot of good information. I'm also on Facebook and LinkedIn, Twitter, a little bit of Instagram.
Perfect. Well, I can't even say as much. I mean, these are golden nuggets, really, that's accumulated over 29 years of experience. So,
I'm going to touch on one question.
Please. Yeah.
So the one that always intrigues me is I'll get clients who go, well, when you find a good deal, tell me about it.
Tell me about it. I hear that all the time too. Tell me of the good deal. If you see a good deal, what does that good deal mean?
Exactly. You've actually answered the question with the right question. Yeah. What does a good deal mean to you as that investor? What is your timeline? What are you trying to accomplish? Is it purely wealth? Is it appreciation? Is it cash flow? Is it legacy?
What are you trying to achieve?
Yeah. What are are you looking for short term, long term? There's so many questions, and it has more to do with understanding you. And I know, Margaret, you do a discovery with all your clients before you even start the process. I do the same thing with the investor, so that I'm able to narrow down what a good deal means to that particular investor.
Yeah, because there's good deal all over, and if it doesn't work for you, it's not a good deal.
We're a marriage matchmakers, right? We match a deal with our client, right?
For sure. Well, I mean, that's it for today, but what I would do is I would have Andrew's all his contact information in the link, and feel free to contact him, reach out to him. He's a super human being, and I'm just so thankful to get to work with him and learn from him. And stay tuned, we'll see you around.
Thank you. Bye.